God damn it. I need to update my POB. Just looking at my phone, killing Omni and Kosa simultaneously. Actually, those aren't bad. This is the highest sheet DPS I have ever seen on a character, at least for me. Oh, let's go fire damage. Come on, movement speed. Okay, or a split, that's not bad. Damn, we needed movement speed on those. Damn. 300 energy shield. We'll take that. Tri-res was a damage mod. Let's go, baby. It's crazy. My fucking boss DPS weapon doesn't even have all its modifiers on it. Look at this fucking thing. If we can roll fizz on it, it'd be GG. Oh, I thought it was a fucking headhunters. Oh my god, T1 roll with the augmentation? Jeez, come on, give me movement speed or something. Mana? Okay, these boots are fucking great. Well, I might be farming a bunch of simulacrum now, because wow, we are getting some good shit. All res, cold res, lightning res. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I almost fucked that up. Lightning damage? Wow. Fuck if we could have got melee skills on there. Would be nice to whittle that mana, but I don't think you can. Nope, it's gonna do the flat energy shield. Of course. This brace tower shield is actually a really good item early. was almost something. Oh shit. Insane. Wow. Big simulacrums. Oh, oh, oh. See you. Love it. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Nice. Okay, crit hit chance, increased damage, they're evasive, increased life. Alright. Wow. Wow. If that was fire res, they would be way better boots. We need to go get scrolls. I know we only have one more round, but these items are kind of crazy. Oh shit, lightning damage, lightning resistance. Nice. Fire resistance. Shit, that takes away a suffix. Well, let's just see where it goes. Nice little level 39 belt. Oh, we got fizz damage on there too. Oh my god, T1 fizz, T1 lightning. If that had melee skills, these would be fucking... Yeah, if that dex was melee skills, 100 divine gloves. Sucks they're on the armor base though. Seeing if this guy's gonna join the live stream. Told him he could join and I would explain to him why you wouldn't want to do that. See, this is taking forever to sell too, for only 8 div. Oh shit. Damn it, man. These were really close to being something. So is the shield. hit the thorns for a T1 max. Oh, and it hit the all elemental res off, so it's over. Damn, all these items have been decent. Oh, they must have some damage mods. Heck yeah. What's up? Wriggles. What's going on? Heck yeah. We're just farming some simulacrums. Oh yeah? What build is it? You had me at crazy. Let me see this fucker. Mm-mm-mm. Looks pretty dope. Was that ball lightning and twisters? Wow, that's a lot of twisters. I'm curious how the boss DPS is, though. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fucking AoE for sure. Yeah, I kind of figured as much, but I didn't. Well, yeah, I would say that's probably your best bet. This build is fucking insane too, though, bro. Mm, Yeah, I'm running a wind dancer for map clearing and shield charge. Damn, why did that lightning damage have to be so low? And shield charge for bossing. My shield charge fully buffed with 30 rage hits for like 620k without factoring in any deepest tower damage or anything like that. There was a really interesting Caltrops build. Well, it, it's hard to explain the build because I can't remember what they were using, but it basically allowed you to spam caltrops without evading, like without dodge rolling. So the person was just like walking around and it was just shitting out. I want to say it was like 38 caltrops a second. It was some like barrier invocation or something skill he was using, and you could use that, and I don't know. I didn't really look into it because I figured it was gonna get fucking bombed as soon as GGG saw that video. So, and obviously that already happened. No, this build, yeah, I can't remember what it was called though. I really wish I knew. What the fuck? I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but the dude was just standing still, and it was just shitting out caltrops at a speed that you just couldn't even fathom. It was seriously like 38 caltrops a second or something. It was the craziest shit I had ever seen. But yeah, it's probably something like that, something to that effect. See, and when I tried caltrops, I didn't know that you could have multiple instances of caltrops, and then it also takes the damage from every support gem inside every caltrop. So it basically, they all stack each other. Because, dude, well, somebody said it did that. All right, Werther Wave, I'm gonna, uh, yeah, um, yeah, the +2 isn't the best fracture. It is the worst fracture. So I can explain. So here I have a bow, and I fractured crit chance on it. Now, obviously, this bow only has +1 because I got the high fizz damage and elemental damage, and I just stopped there. But when you're making a bow, when you're making a bow, you have to look, if you go on the database, it'll tell you what item level each modifier rolls at. And if you get a bow that is item level 82, then, okay, so if you go on my YouTube, there is literally a video of me crafting a bow with a +2 fracture just to show you how fucking expensive it is. But basically, if you have an item level 82 bow, the only modifier on the suffixes that is item level 82 is the +2 additional arrows. So if you fracture that, then it makes getting the other two things, it makes getting the other two suffixes, crit and crit damage that you want, impossible. Because you will always be fighting the crit. The crit will always roll back off with the whittle and roll back off with the whittle. So you'll never keep your crit. So you fracture the crit first, and then you chaos until you get the +2 additional arrows, and then your crit is fractured, so it can't whittle off, and your +2 additional arrows is item level 82, so it can't roll off. There's not a single other roll on the suffixes that can possibly trump your +2 arrows. So you can continuously whittle until you hit crit damage or attack speed or whatever you want without having to worry about taking off crit or your +2 arrows. But if you fracture your +2 arrows, then you're just constantly battling back and forth on the whittles to craft it. It's just going to be going back and forth. You're going to take the crit off, then you're going to be whittling until you get crit again. Then you're going to take crit off. Right. But also the crit, right? The actual crit is only item level 73. So if you get a prefix, you're trying to whittle your prefixes. Some of the prefixes are actually at tier 2 and 3 higher than tier 1 crit. So again, you'll have to use 2 omens every roll and only target prefixes so that you don't roll your crit off. So it's just incredibly expensive. Like this bow right here, to get it to where it is only cost me 30 divine. When I fractured the +2 arrows, I wasted 500 divine and didn't even get an operational bow out of it. Because I kept having to put crit back on it. Because without the crit, the bow don't sell. And with the new addition of these runes, the socketables that give you plus an additional arrow, even if the bow doesn't have it, you can just socket 2 additional arrows into it and buy a way cheaper bow and just buy those sockets and put it in there. Well, if you're curious about the process and how to do a bow, 30 divs is nothing. Fucking 500 divs to not even get a bow that I could sell. I literally, okay, so I spent 500 divines and the bow ended up selling for 38 divines. So I took a net loss of 462 divines. Whereas with this one, I only spent 30 div, and even if I sell this for 50 div, it's profit. Actually, I could probably. I really don't have a whole bunch of currency. I'm trying to save for a mace, but yeah, I have an entire video, the step by step. I would say they're bare minimum equally as hard as anything else, if not the hardest thing to craft. It's one of the hardest things to craft are bows. For one, because there's so many prerequisites of a good bow. It has to have crit on it. It has to have high damage. It has to have the additional arrows. But, like I said, the only two things that are absolutely necessary is the crit and the additional arrows. The crit damage is like gravy. Well, quarterstaff crafting is a little bit different too. Uh, I have a buddy that he might be online right now. He is not online. What's crazy is, so I always said that the bolting quarterstaffs were good, but no one wanted them. They all went fizz. They all went completely physical quarterstaffs. And now everyone is going bolting quarterstaffs. They have no fizz on them. They're only lightning damage. I got one in here somewhere. Hold on, I'll show you. Since like 2 weeks ago. But so they're going these these quarterstaffs. I have one somewhere I thought that had elemental damage with attacks and melee skills. So what you would want on, god damn it, on your quarterstaff is this line here, the elemental damage with attacks, and then you would aim to get either T1 cold, T1 fire, and T1 elemental damage with attacks, with attack speed and melee skills on the bottom, or you could go cold and lightning and just get even more lightning. And the reason for that is because you're going to be stacking lightning damage anyways. You're going to be using Hands of Wisdom in action probably. And in the tree, it's easy to stack a bunch of elemental damage. And then you get increased damage against enemies that are affected by ailments. You can penetrate their elemental resistances. And by penetrating their resistances, they're now not reducing your damage. Whereas your fizz damage is converting to lightning anyways. It's all really confusing. But that's basically what you would want to do. Is you would want to get melee skills on the bottom, uh, elemental damage with attacks, and then you would want high lightning or high fizz. Yeah, Monk's pretty expensive. I mean, all builds are pretty expensive if you want the upper echelon of builds. But you could also just get a staff, a quarterstaff with really high physical damage and get that line increased elemental damage with attacks. Well, to get a Warbringer up and running, I think is cheap because they're just so survivable. They're so efficient. That's why I league start Warbringer every league. So that's just what I do. This is gonna be a tough fucking map. I hate, hate temporal chains. Oh, I think we got 10 breaches here. Wasn't there just a breach up here too? Or am I tripping? Damn, it was showing me the streamers from that breach all the way down here. I gotta go back and I gotta get fucking currency. Oh wait. Gotta turn my Omen of Amelioration on. Yeah, T3 content. What build were you running on Warbringer. Ah, the Sunder Totem. Yeah, makes sense. Did you ever try did you ever try rolling slam in your totem instead of Sunder? Yeah, rolling slam is fucking crazy in ancestral warrior totems. Ranger's pretty good. I would say I would say Deadeye is one of the strongest ascendancies in the game. All right, where's this Breach Lord clasped hand at? Ah, all the way up there. Div. Um, why am I so slow? Oh, because temporal change. I forgot that was on there. It's hard to find uh, content on carrying. You said. I I just think there's not enough people out there doing videos on it, and also it's pretty subjective because there's no like this build is better than this build because gearing is always a thing. If you don't have the gear, then the build doesn't perform. So it's hard to say one build is better than another build in every scenario. I mean, I think the totem build is probably one of the top builds to carry. In my opinion, it's one of the best. But I don't do a lot of trials. It's just not my thing. I find them boring. They just take way too long. I'm aware that it's an easy way to farm divines. It's an easy way to get jewels and trade everything for currency. It bores the ever living shit out of me to do trials. No. Melee, the funny part is melee might seem good, but if you ever played like the Spark build from last season, or like Lightning Arrow from last season, or even Lightning Spear from this season, like melee can't even hold a fucking candle to that. I doubt it. I feel like people are struggling with melee characters more so than people are flourishing with them. Um, if you want to try Shockwave Totem, I would suggest going here. I'll link it. I'll link it in the chat. And in the comments of this video, there's a link to the build guide. This is gonna be dangerous. Oh my god, there's fucking blood everywhere. There's shit everywhere. I think this temporal chains needs nerfed. You should not go from fucking running to walking from a single debuff. Why can't I click this? There we go. Oh, he just knocked me back into the fucking temporal chains. That's crazy. So, I have a few wishes for 0.3. I'm gonna be doing a breakdown video on it tomorrow. But I would say changes to the passive tree for sure, especially the warrior passive tree area. There's too many tit for tat. Like, for example, we can just add all this up. So, you got, oh no, it's the other side. You got -5 attack speed here. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 15. So that's 20% reduced attack speed right there. Your attack speed reduced by 20% if you took all those nodes. But if you look for damage, a lot of these nodes are kind of low damage nodes, other than the ones that have the reduction to them. And then you have stuff like this. This I don't even understand. To reduce your already slow ass movement speed, and the only benefit you get is your health regeneration goes up when you're standing still in a game that penalizes you for standing still. If you stand still, you're dead. Period. And then all these nodes, reduced mana, reduced mana, reduced mana, reduced mana. So that's 15, 20, 25% reduced mana. And then if you wanted to go this route, right, you could reduce it even more just to get your crit chance up. So that would be 35, 40, 45% reduced mana. Here's another 5% reduced attack speed, so that's 25% reduced attack speed. If you want this node to increase your physical damage and your life leech, it reduces your maximum life. Your herald skills have a higher crit chance, but you deal reduced damage. But if you look on the other side of the tree, these things make up for each other. So you have like these reduced area of effects, but there's so much increased area of effect. And I also would like to see changes to the passive tree in a way that makes it more generic. So like instead of these notables like being melee damage, just be increased damage. And instead of increased area of effect for attacks, just make it increased area of effect. Because war cries are not attacks and they're not spells. So this is the only cluster right here. There are 3 notables that increase damage with war cries. Almost every other notable is increased damage with attacks, with two-handed weapons, with one-handed weapons. Like, just make them generic damage multipliers. Like increased attack physical damage. So that means it does not help your shouts because it's attack damage. And it's only attack physical damage. So what that means is if you like let's look here. We'll just put attack. So if you had how far away from this are we? So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 6 points. Now these points here, these are just attack damage. So let's look. If we only take 10 and 10, 20%. Well, let's look at it without any. So without any of these buffs to attack damage, we'll just go with this damage, just the sheet damage. We're at 81,118. So when we put these back in, these 2 points, we're at 84,630. Because attack damage means any of these modifiers that say 2 attacks. So fire damage, lightning damage, 2 attacks. Lightning damage, fire damage, physical damage, 2 attacks. Attack damage will affect those. But if we take these off, and we'll take this shit off too. Now remember, we were at 81,118. So now we use increased attack physical damage. Well, when we took the 20% attack damage, we were at 84,600. Now we're only at 83,500. Why is that? Because it's only affecting the actual physical modifiers. It's not affecting the elemental. Well, my predictions are the druid will probably come out. I would assume the druid will be one of the classes. Um, I would I would venture as far as to say I would assume Act 4 will come out. I'm being optimistic, but I think axes will also make an appearance, and if they brought axes, then they would bring the Marauder in. I'm hoping for a 2-for-1, them bringing in two different classes and uh, different weapon types, because melee is kind of stale right now because you only have maces. That's all you have. Didn't this guy just buy my other armor? He did. He just bought my other armor. See, this guy is a flipper. Yeah. One of my hopes that's what I'm saying when I'm talking about like generic nodes, there needs to be more generic nodes like increased life, life, flat armor, flat evasion, flat energy shield. Resistances, maybe more resistance nodes so that you don't have to put fucking resistance uh, socketables in your gear. I think they just need to consolidate a lot. They need to fix the tree. Oh my god, it would do that. And that just ruined our fucking. Oh, that just ruined our resistance. We had a tier 1 lightning res. And we got 10% movement speed right the fuck back on. Yeah, I would say I'm hoping for Act 4. I'm hoping for 2 new classes. I'm hoping for at least 1 new melee weapon type. Now, I don't want to give away too many of my predictions because like I said I'm coming out with a video tomorrow and the picture for the thumbnail is an indicator of what I'm hoping for, but I'll go ahead and tell you guys since I doubt all 2 people that are in here is going to spoil it for everybody. But I would like to see the ability to dual wield shields. because I think it would just be something super unique and cool that other games haven't done. And it would allow you to scale abilities like shield charge and resonating shield. Well, because you got to think your your abilities like shield charge, it scales off the armor on your shield. Same with resonating shield, it scales off the armor on your shield. So if you had two shields, yeah, that's a big thing. Even with temporal chains on you, you can make it faster than holding it. Well, yes, but I'm getting to that. So, if you dual wield the shield, right, then the only stats that you would get from the offhand shield would be the resistances, the block chance, the shit like that. You would only get to use one shield for damage necessarily. So then you could put a shield with no block chance and a bunch of armor in your main hand, and then you could run a shield that actually has like block chance and resistances, or you could run a Svalens that would allow you to have lucky block. Or you could then run the wall shield that gives you turtle charm, but you can't use shield abilities. And then you could run Svalin, so you would have the ability to block all hits and you would have lucky block. And you could just walk around. Just walk around and be tanky as fuck. You wouldn't be doing any damage other than maybe casting spells, but it would be a unique power fantasy that other games just haven't done. And I think the thing that sets PoE apart from other games is trying to make unique things that other games haven't done. Or you could make it to where like your the second the second shield you only get 50% of the bonus from it or something. So it doesn't scale like out of control. And you could make it the same way as like Giant's Blood, where it takes 3 times the attribute requirements to dual wield them. You know? We are so slow. We're literally walking. This is where I make almost all of my currency. Low level required rings. Like if you look at this ring, it's dog shit, but it just sold for a divine. I've sold so many of these rings. I would say 90% of my trades are for one divine, and I've had and used thousands of divine. I barely get any raw divine drops. And all I did was, while I was going through the campaign on my other characters, I just gambled rings and amulets every time I went back to town. So if you look in here, any item level like 70 or higher, those mean that I've sold the ring that was there and I replaced it. So this tab was filled completely with rings that were like item level 50 and lower. But there's a bunch of 80s, 82s. That means I sold all those for a divine. And then I have the same thing here. Same exact thing. Low level rings and amulets. I guess I could do like a tips and tricks video too. Okay. Okay. Now this is a good caster ring. I mean, that's incredibly high resistances. Sell everything super cheap. I guess I should do this Viridian Wildwood and shit. I've had this area unlocked for a long time. Ooh, that's a little difficult. Okay, so we gotta try and figure this out and get through this quickly. I've never completed this whole map, like, explored the whole map before it stopped. Okay, we gotta turn this filter to Uber so I can fucking see. Okay, we haven't ran into a single omen yet. Dude, just fucking hit me. See, I just don't understand the dynamic. That is the least amount of omens I've ever found in one of these maps. We got fucking one. How are you supposed to come in here and farm omens if you get one per map? And it's a fucking sinistral alchemy. Wow, this wasn't even tiered. Tier 1, Tier 4. There's a sapphire in there. Nope. God damn, I wanted to hit my atlas, not the fucking teleport. Well, come on, give me melee skills on these fucking gloves. Hit that mana for flat. Or they fucking crit chance off. Let's see. A lot of charm and flash shit here. Let's run a citadel. A 94% delirious citadel. We gotta try and do this without dying. This is probably gonna be the last map for me tonight. Oh my goodness. I'm just looking for good rolls on shields to recombo. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this dropped from a rare, so it should be 82. I was hoping we'd get something decent on it. Oh my god. What the fuck? I like how we just straight up missed that guy. Dude, how come we can't get a high armor roll? We can't get a single percent or flat armor roll on any shield. It's like impossible for it to happen. There are a lot of rare mobs on this map. Go clear this fucking stash out. there was a tier 2 fortress tower shield. It was like right here, I think. Yeah. See, this is why I pick up every blue pair of gloves. Every pair of gloves. Because they might have melee skills on them. Wow, those tier 2 got a tier 1 lightning damage and fucking res on it. Alright, alright. Easy peasy. I was about to say, I forgot that this guy, Omni over here, dropped some shit. Nice. if we can hit flat on this. Okay, I guess I didn't specify how much flat. Fucking tier 8. Are you kidding me? There we go. Tier 1 fucking armor roll. Finally. Don't even care about the rest of the rolls. I just want it for the recombination. Tier 16, 94% delirious. So far, so good. Oh, well, I guess I have a bunch of percents. I need flat. Alright, let's kill this fucking dude. And then we'll put 2 exalts in our hammer and see what happens. Okay. Oh shit. He hit us hard as fuck. Oh my god, there's still more to this fucking map. I don't know why I price things the way I do. 3 divine for something that's tier 1, tier 2, tier 2, tier 1, tier 2, tier 2. And all these fucking people that are just flippers, like this Chinese dude, comes and buys it and then posts it for what it's actually worth. Really, with the stun threshold. Oh, fuck, we only got one left. Wow, that brutalized that fucking belt. I'm pretty sure we're gonna die. What? It said I committed suicide. What? So I had 4,000 health. I killed myself. Huh. Sick. Alright, here we go. How is tier 8 accuracy? I don't. $71 chaos orbs for an omen of whittling. That's more than 5 divine worth of chaos. Okay. well, it's got a lot more damage than it did. Alright, guys, I am out of here. We will see you tomorrow. Video coming soon.